Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is another re-review for Bronson. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for that. PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. And this time we're talking about Big Mama's House from 2000. Now, I know this has two sequels. I'll be honest, I don't remember the two sequels. I did remember a bit more about this one, because I do remember this being the best of the three. Now, it's directed by Raja Gosnell, who would go do the Scooby-Doo live-action films. He did some of the Smurfs films. And this film was a huge hit. I mean, this film made over $100 million in the U.S. alone. So it definitely was a big hit. And Martin Lawrence, this is when he was on a trajectory, because he had Bad Boys, that was a hit. Blue Streak, that's a fun film that I haven't seen in a while. That did well. Nothing to Lose, which I love Nothing to Lose. That doesn't even have a Blu-ray, sadly. That's a fun one with him and Tim Robbins. That, did okay. And then this was one of his bigger hits. But then you had What's the Worst That Could Happen. You had Black Knight. I'm not a fan of Black Knight. I thought it was rather lame, in my opinion. And what was the other one? There was The Rebound. He was the basketball coach. Wild Hogs was fun. But other than Bad Boys films and Wild Hogs, those were some of the few hits he was having after it. I guess Big Mama's House 2 was a hit enough to make a third one. But the cast, you have Martin Lawrence. I've always been a fan of Martin Lawrence. Yeah, I loved him in the Bad Boys films. Not so much the last one, but the other films before that. I mentioned Blue Streak and Nothing to Lose. I think those are very entertaining. And you also have Nia Long, or is it Nia? I'll say Nia Long for the sake of argument. I remember her as the potential girlfriend for Ice Cube and Friday, and sadly she was not in the sequels for that, just like she's not in the sequels for this film, which I thought was strange. But she seems like a sweetheart. She always seems like very cute, and it's always great to see her in a movie. Paul Giamatti, I always forget he's in this. He plays Martin Lawrence's partner, because they're both agents for the FBI. I guess he didn't come back for the sequels. Either they didn't ask him to, or he did. Because he said there's an interview later on, I think when the third one was coming out, where, I don't, people say I should be ashamed for being in that. I'm not ashamed for being in it. And wow, they're making a third one. So it seems like they just never asked him to be a part of the sequels, which is too bad, because I think Paul Giamatti does a good job. He's a very capable actor, and he knows how to do comedy. If you watch the Howard Stern one, Private Parts, or other stuff, even as the villain in Shoot 'Em Up, he definitely knows how to do comedy. I definitely think he's a fun part in this movie. Anthony Anderson is in the film. Terrence Howard. This is before people really started to know who he was, because this is before Hustle and Flow, which got him some critical acclaim. This is before Iron Man, and then getting fired, replaced Howard for Iron Man 2, and so forth. Terrence Howard nowadays seems like a nutcase. But I thought he was a capable actor. Here, he's not given much to do. He's just the villain who pops up every once in a while. There's a good chunk of the movie that he kind of disappears until the third act of the film. I mean, the gist of the story is Martin Lawrence, he likes to go undercover using sort of different disguises. The very first scene is he's disguised as an Asian guy, and his partner Paul Giamatti is down below, ready to be attacked by dogs. There's a scuffle. Part of Martin Lawrence's mask gets torn off. I did like the bit that the dog even whimpers, like, who? I know it's stupid and it's silly, but I did get a laugh out of it, I must admit. And then you have the line, which I cringe. I thought, what? You never heard of Seoul, Korea? I'm like, oh my god. It's been a while since I've seen this. I forgot that he said a line like that. And I guess Martin knew a little bit of kicked in, because it seems like he's doing a little. I mean, he's not doing Jar Jar Van Damme shit, but he's doing a little bit of kicked in and punching. And things go well for the operation. So their next case is Nia Long. Nia, whatever the hell. Nia Long. Back in the day, she was with Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard robbed some place that she worked at. He got busted. They couldn't find any evidence on her, so her and her son went. Her son went away. She finds out that Terrence Howard is busted out of jail, so she gets her son and they go on the run. One of the people the agents know about is she has a grandmother. So Martin Lawrence and Paul Giamatti are hired to surveil the grandma. They find a way to bug her place up. While they're bugging her place up, the answer machine catches that Nia is calling. She wants to stop by, but if you're not there, I'll go somewhere else. They don't know we need her here, because if she's here, then it may lead us to help catching Terrence Howard. So Martin Lawrence picks up the phone, pretends to be Big Momma, the grandmother, and they put a disguise on her. Or him, I should say, to be Big Momma. Now, we'll be honest, the whole gig about a guy dressing up in women's clothes and pretend to be a woman isn't my favorite style of comedy. No. Are there films that make it work? Sure. Like this film, watching it again in 2025, I didn't mind it for what it was. Now, maybe I've just been bombarded with a lot more shittier comedies throughout the years that I've seen, that I'm like, you know what? This isn't that bad. Maybe because I looked at something like Norbit, and I go, you know what? I'd rather watch this than Norbit. I like Mrs. Doubtfire, which I know that'll be coming in the pipeline sometime, thanks to Bronson. But again, is it my favorite type of comedy that I gravitate towards? No. But Martin Lawrence, I mean, there are some lines that I found funny. And a good chunk of the film is just kind of these random, not random, but these segments that kind of just pop in. Series of events that happen until we get to the third act, where obviously his identity gets found out and the bad guy's there and defeat the bad guy, and the lady will be pissed that you lie to her, but eventually you come say some words and you get together. So you kind of know where that's going. You know, that's predictable. So it's about the series of events that happens in between. Some are funnier than others. You know, I will admit, the way Martin Lawrence delivers the line, Mom could never forget that ass. Ma, asthma. It might be an obvious line, but I thought Martin Lawrence's delivery was kind of funny on that. Paul Giamatti, I thought there was some entertaining bits. Like he's testing out the skin, he's doing these moves, and then Martin's like, have you grown attached to those? I don't know why they didn't bring Paul Giamatti back for the sequels. I think that was a mistake. Because he's fun. Like, he's a good actor. Like I said, good comedic actor. He plays off Martin Lawrence fairly well. You know, the bit where he's trying to cook his Big Momma and stuff gets on fire. It's like, okay, you know, whatever. Reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire when that stuff was caught on fire. Oh, yeah, that was a little bit funnier because Robin had some funnier lines of, I'm a woman for a day and I'm already having hot flashes. Like, okay. Here's like, okay, whatever. There's a bit where, because Big Mom is the midwife, she's got to deliver this baby. There's a bit where trying to get along with Nia's son. So the son is playing basketball. These guys are being jerks. So the comedy is, oh, here's Martin Lawrence in his big suit, looking like a fat ass woman, playing basketball and slam dunking and stuff. It depends how you feel about that. It could be low hanging fruit. It could be kind of, I don't know, I'd say sitcom level humor. But I will say, though, what helps is that there's enough funny moments for me. For example, the bit with Anthony Anderson, who was there during the pregnancy. He also has this security place. He runs his little, how do I put it, self-defense bit for the older ladies. He's treating them not the best. Martin Lawrence ain't having that. So as Big Mama wrecks Anthony Anderson's wrecks his shit in. And the bit where Martin has Anthony's arm behind his back and he says some stuff and Anthony's like, yes. I thought that was really fun. And I like Anthony Anderson as an actor. As a person, I don't know. As an actor, I do quite enjoy Anthony Anderson. I don't know what you don't really hear of him anymore. I don't know if there's a reason for that. But whether it be, the bits in action films like Romeo Must Die and Cradle to the Grave, Exit Wounds, I didn't mind him in those movies. Kangaroo Jack, I have a soft spot for. But Anthony Anderson, I'm trying to look like what he's done lately. Sorry for the silence. I mean, Stream 4, not so much. But I forgot he was in You People. I forgot he was in Grudge Match. But I think he's much more in the TV nowadays. Because what was that TV show, Blackish? Yeah, 2018 to 20... there's a... Was he on that? Or I might think of someone else. Yeah, Blackish from 2014 to 2022. And then there's another show, Grownish. Only 8 episodes. There's a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2020? Yeah, he's done a lot of TV work. So, I was just curious. Because I knew if I didn't know, I would forget. Because my mind wanders off the reservation a lot. And I thought this film does have some decent heart to it. I mean, maybe obvious. It may be cliche. But there's a part where he, without the suit on, goes to the house. Well, he's escaping. And he's got thick on his feet, so he pretends like he's fixing the door bell. And there's bits where he's interacting with the kid and kind of showing him a little bit how to fight. And there's bits with him and Nia Long that's kind of sweet. Him teaching the kid how to catch a firefly. Again, it may seem obvious, may seem typical, but I thought Martin handled those scenes fairly well. I mean, there is some gross out toilet humor or juvenile humor, yes, that I'm not my favorite kind of jokes. There's a bit early on where Big Mama, and his first attempt to bud the place, Big Mama's got to go to the toilet and you hear her shitting, before you see her fat ass and Martin Lawrence is ready to puke. And he runs out back to Paul Giamatti. I've seen a lot of things, but that's a lot of ass. There's a bit where Nia is sleeping with Big Mama, and she's like, Mama, what is that? Oh, it's my flashlight. Mama, is that another flashlight? And then you see Martin kind of look at the camera and go, that was a bit creepy. I thought that was a bit fucking creepy. Like, okay, so the idea is that your hard on, your dick is next to her, and she doesn't really know what's going on. You're like, hey. I mean, isn't that like 2 steps away from a rapist? Since YouTube won't let you say the actual word. Rapist. Like, what the fuck? Like, that I thought was a bit weird. I know that I think that was in the trailer, too. That's a bit of a weird fucking joke to me. I think it's like the smile. If she said that, it's like he's like, I didn't mean to do that. No, it's just and he was like apologetic, but the fact is like, I don't know, it seemed a bit too Stevie. At least for Martin Lawrence's character that we've seen before, just a bit too Stevie. As we're like breaking the fourth wall, looking at the camera. So that was one of my least favorite jokes. That one, the toilet joke. Not to say that there were other jokes I did laugh, and I already mentioned that, so I'd be repeating myself. There's a bit, there's a party. Big Mama comes home. I mean, yeah, I'm spoiling it, but it's from 2000, like 25 years ago now. That's crazy. That's been 25 years since Big Mama's house. Terrence Howard gets there. Martin Lawrence jumps through the window. There's a bit of a fight, bit of a scuffle. Some decent stunt work where Terrence Howard or his double either flies through this table or flies out the window. Decent stunt work there. His identity's been found out. Goes to a church, says his piece. They forgive him. I think Cedric the Entertainer is at the church. So a bit role from him. This is one of those movies that it went at a fast pace. It's not too long of a movie. It's at the very least a time waster. I could watch it and not groan as much. I got more chuckles out of this compared to like Norbit. But I would say I like Mrs. Doubtfire more than this. I said Terrence Howard, this is early in his career, so he doesn't have a whole lot of room to do much acting. Like I said, he appears a little bit in spots at the beginning. Then again, there's a chunk where he disappears. Then again, third, like I mentioned before, Nia Long has this very sweet, nice nature to her that I think helps us feel sorry for her and her characters in movies she's in. Martin still had that charisma to him, still had that star quality to him. I would say, like, compared to other films, I do like the 3 Bad Boys films more. The first 3, Blue Streak, Nothing to Lose. I do like this more than this. But yeah, I do remember this being a bit funnier, a bit more heartfelt compared to the sequels, compared to, again, what's the worst that could happen, and I should have looked up his filmography. Why don't we do it now? I know it's annoying to be typing and all this stuff, but yeah, oh well. I'm always annoying. But I know this is a film he directed. It's a thin line between love and hate, which I didn't like. I'd probably say, honestly, I liked this more than that one. Shut up, stomach. But yeah, House Party 1 and 2, he was fun in those. Boomerang, I didn't mind. Bad Boys was one of my favorites of his. Nothing to Lose, Blue Street, Big Mama's House. National Security, I could not get into. Rebound, did not care for. Welcome on Roscoe Jenkins, College Road Trip. Didn't really care for. Life, I know a lot of people like Life. There are funny moments in the film, but that film just depresses the fuck out of me. Because yeah, it's about two people who are innocent who spend their entire life in prison till they're like 90 years old. It's such a depressing fucking story that it's hard for me to really enjoy watching. I can't help it, just how I feel. And from after Wild Hogs, well, College Road Trip, I would say, okay, from 2011, Big Mama's House 3, he did not do a whole lot from 2011 to now. So that's 11, about 14 years. He did a stand-up. He was in a film called The Beach Bum. Bad Boys for Life, which I thought was disappointing. Well, no, that one I liked. The fourth one, the next one, Ride or Die, is one I found disappointing. Mind Cage, I looked up stuff. It seems really fucking lame. With, yeah, I don't think I would like that movie at all. And then Sneaks, about talking sneakers, because we are running the fuck out of ideas when we need to make a movie about talking sneakers. What's that? It's a talking jockstrap? Talking sneakers. There probably will be like a Seth Rogen type of R-rated comedy about talking jockstraps. But yeah, the film, for the most part, was harmless and kind of fun. And like I said, it's nice to see Paul Giamatti, Anthony. It's nice to see some of these cast members in there. It's not too overlong. There's enough goofy, silly fun that I enjoyed some of it. It's not a film I rewatch much. It's not a film that's a favorite of mine, but I would say at the end of the day, I don't mind it for what it is, despite some Stevie parts that I mentioned. And some obvious, like, okay, isn't it funny that she's dressed like a fat woman and playing basketball? So definitely more lower brow than some other movies. But again, I've seen much, 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 much worse as well. And I do think it's the best of the three. I might not be saying much, but still saying something. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.